Well, it's a brand new month, and that means Fabulous Folded Cards has a brand new card cutting die. This is called Open Doors, and let me show you it in action. So look at this. So it has the two windows, and they can just open like so. How nice is that? Well, I've got lots more to show you. Please come play with us. Okay, well, all of the Fabulous Folded dies, as you may know, come in a package like this. It's called a wallet, and that's because it has an opening like so. Well, in this particular case, as in all of them, you see the illustrations and all of the text just to tell you step by step how to put this together. But it is so super simple. Let me just show you. You will start with die cutting two windows out of this. So here we have 1 and 2. And then we're going to use our ever-present friend, the extra sticky tape. This is 1/4 inch. You could use 1/2 inch also. And we're going to put it on the back of each of these tabs, just like so. I scoot those out. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Now, what you need is a card that's 4.5 by 6.5. Now, you can do that in a couple of ways. You can take our regular 5.5 by 6.5 cards and trim it down to be 4.5 inches wide, which is what I've done on this particular one. You could take a sheet of cardstock that's 9 inches by 6 inches and fold that in the center, and you're going to have a card. Or you could just cut one piece of cardstock to be this size. So you've got several options, okay? And by the way, I believe all of those are on the back of the package, so that's good to know. Okay, so pretend that this is my card. Then I'm going to take and remove the extra sticky tape from the back, and I'm going to position this on the front of my card, just like so, along the fold. Then I'm going to take this one and remove the liner. I'm going to put it on the inside of the card front. And I just want to make sure that they're both equal in the bottom. Now, you'll notice I have an arch shape by my door, but not by my card. So if I want them to match, I simply trim them to fit. The other thing that works, that I have somewhere here, is our nested arches cutting die will fit perfectly. We did that on purpose. So if you want to cut your card first to fit the dies, that's perfectly fine. So you've got those choices. Now, that's all you do. In fact, that's exactly what Debbie did when she was creating this card. And so let me just show you. This card is, there's the fold. She put one of the tabs down here and one of the tabs on the back of the card, and that way this can open on the front of her card. Isn't that fun? Now, this is actually using our brand new Forest Magic collection, and let me just show it to you. She used the 6 by 6 to do the inside of the card and to do the doors. And notice how the doors look like wood. Green wood. Well, that's part of the magic of Forest Magic. In fact, you can see all of those wood colors right on the little thumbnails on the front of the package. So this is a 6 by 6, fit perfectly, and that gave her a scene to open up. This happens to be from the Forest Magic die cuts, which look like this, and she just popped it in. This piece is out of the 6 by 6. It's one of the cutouts that you have. And so she just matted it on the solid, which I happen to have here, the Forest Magic solid. And she just attached it to the left window, okay, the left door, if you will. And then she put a little jute bow at the top out of the jute package. So it has a very rustic feel to it. Now, she chose to make this a happy birthday, but certainly could be lots of different things. And for that, she used the 75 more greetings dazzles, and this has black, white, gold, silver, and brown in it. So you can see the happy birthday right there. So that will work quite nicely. Oh, by the way, this size of dies, as is true of all of the Fabulous Folded, is going to fit into our 10 envelopes package. So we do that so that you are not left hanging with not having an envelope to fit. So this will work perfectly. Okay, now let's go into what else Debbie has created her magics for us. And here is another card. Now, this card is our regular 5 by 6.5. So it's not the 4.5 one, it's 5 inches. And look what she's done. She has simply glued her doors on the front of the card, but she wasn't done there. In fact, let me tell you everything that she used and what she did with this. So this is out of the Wildflowers and Wildlife collection. So very, very pretty. And you can see that little pattern there is a 6-inch, and so she needed something to edge it, and so she used the Wildflowers and Wildlife solid, which makes a perfect sense. And I love what she did behind her doors. So she kind of made them as a window. In fact, you can see the flower box in front of it. And she used the oval doilies. Now there's 25 pieces in there. They look like this. So you can see that, let me pull this out, the top part is going to very nicely fit into that window, and just trim it to fit. Now the doors are foam taped onto the card, and she also used these silver studs for doorknobs. So I thought that worked really well. You've got 72 of them in here, lots of different sizes. I've mostly seen these used on, in fact, Heidi uses them all the time on masculine cards, but I think they do a wonderful job right here. Now she also trimmed one of the papers, and you can see it right here. You can see all the flowers, but that wasn't enough for our Miss Debbie. You can see just beautiful there. She also added some of our tiny flowers. Now this is you can see those. It has all kinds of teal colors and blue colors. So she's just added some in just to give a little bit of depth. And this is and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Eseme, E-S-M-E, paper flowers. And so that is just adding a little bit of dimension. She did a really good job of fussy cutting around that piece. And that too is foam taped on top of the doors, which are now a window, and just looks quite lovely. On the inside of her card, she used the solid, again, the part of the doily, and then this is a border out of the package, and this is also a cutout and another cutout in the same set. So she completed her card, but isn't that just great? Oh, the Miss You, I forgot to tell you. The Miss You is a blue set out of the blue set of script dazzles. And so this has Miss You, thank you, happy birthday. There are 3 sheets in here. So that is what you can do with our regularly sized card, and that's going to work quite lovely. Okay, I have more. We're going to step into the holidays with this. And look what she's done. She has trimmed it down, and again, she has left it on the front of her card. Very fun, would you agree? Again, this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. She did cover it first with the silver Mary cardstock just to give it some holiday shine. But when she did this, in fact, I'm just going to bring the die in to show you. Notice she trimmed off the bottom section of the door. So you can modify it, you can do your own home decorating. And with these tabs, she turned them back and attached these to the front of her card. In fact, this little piece of torn paper is what these doors are attached to. So she has one piece, and this is coming from our Christmas Cardinals collection. So this piece was glued onto the Mary, and then she tore another piece, kind of matching, but she did get that little snowbank there, and she did color in the chipboard, so you can see our happy little snowman there. And you can see that she also, in fact, I think you can see it really nicely there. She used the Snowfall acetate, which is just so perfect for this time of year. And Hunky Dory has made that, gosh, for lots of years, and we always carry it. It comes in a package of 5 sheets. and they are printed with white snow that's coming down. And she just glued it to the back of her door, and then she die cut another one so that the back would be finished, and that's very, very nice look, don't you think? Now, she also has some of the jewel dazzles. Let's see, going in there. La, la, la. Well, looks like they have walked away, so I'm just going to leave that. So this is chipboard, and then as I close this, you can see there's more chipboard, and Debbie just colors hers mostly with the markers, the tri-blend markers. You can use any of the markers. Again, the silver studs are for the doorknobs, and this is out of the die cuts out of the Christmas cardinals. And then she has the silver border dazzles. So isn't that just absolutely lovely? And all of that going on the front, but look, she did more on the inside. Wow. You can tell that this is from Christmas cardinals. Spread holiday joy, and there is a cardinal right there. This is part of the chipboard. She's added more of the jewel dazzles and just a little rectangle of the Silver Mary. So that's nice. And again, the red jewel dazzles are just spattered inside, and just a beautiful card. Again, it's going to fit into the envelopes. And I love the snowman peeking. Doesn't that look cute? Okay. So we have used them just lots of different ways. What else could the woman think of? Well, let me show you. Here we have another card. Now this too is our 5 by 6.5 inch card, but she has used the corner rounder on the edges, so that's a nice. You know what, I'm going to take that back. This is 5 by 6.5, but it's not a card. It's just one panel. Remember one of those options I gave you in the very beginning? So she has used, this is the Plaids and Pumpkins, and let me just give you a look. Okay, so she has used the dark brown, this sheet, to go on to cover up the one piece of cardstock. So she probably took her card and just cut it in half. And then she's used a piece of the Plaids and Pumpkins. But then, let me open this up for you. This is one of the cutouts, and the greeting is already on there. So that's nice. Now her doors are going on the back side of this piece, that piece that's put on top of the wood. So that lets them open and work quite nicely. So you've got something fun inside. And then she took one of the cutouts, matted it on the solid Plaids and Pumpkins, which I just happen to have right here, and foam taped that, but foam taped it over here onto that left door. That way this can open up. And for a little bit of gold accent, you can see it shining there, she used the corner peel-offs, this collection that has 6 different sheets in it. So she's used that. But the other thing that she did that I do want to point out, we're going to get in even just a tad closer. Do you see this wood grain? Isn't that beautiful? Well, it is, I can actually feel it. It is done with the benefit of our wood texture embossing folder. That's right. So what you would do is take the wood paper, and that's going to be out of the solid, and trim it to be the size that you want. Don't die cut it yet, but trim it so that it's big enough to get both of those dies. Then run it through the embossing folder, okay? And then you can die cut it, and you've got your beautiful doors. So just really nice. Okay, so you can just use these just on one piece of cardstock. You can trim them down if they need to fit in another way. You can always make them as a window, or you can use them just flat without the ability to open onto the front of a card, or you can use and make the card the shape to go with those doors and let them open up as we did in the very beginning. So with some beautiful things, and I bet you're going to think of some other things too. So here we go. This is our Open Doors card, brand new for this month. And really, you can use this with any season. You saw spring, you saw winter, you saw fall, and you saw masculine. So I don't think you can get any more versatile than that. So this is available now. You will want a extra sticky tape. You will want a bone folder because that's really great to really burnish those folds. And you may just want some 10 envelopes just to make sure that everything works. Now, we do have the list of materials that Debbie used. It's down below, and you can see all 4 of the projects that she's made. And we do have a subscription. Well, of course we do. It is right here. The subscription happens where you're going to get 10% off the retail, which is always a good bargain. And every month you're going to get 1 die or 1 package of dies, and you will get them before the webisode. But you know, our dies all come with an idea on them. We even tell you what we use to create that, so you could get started and duplicate this one or let this send you off on an idea for something else that's similar, so you can start working with this the moment it arrives. The other thing you get is you're going to get a free goodie. Well, this month it happens to be 1 sheet of that snowfall acetate. So you too can have a wintry window or wintry doors right now. So that's the free goodie. The package of the snowfall acetate is in the money saver on the right-hand side of your screen where the subscription is. So that's just all ready for you. Now, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we would love it if you would like us, subscribe to YouTube, but for goodness sakes, head on over to Paper Wishes, because this is the only place you can get this cutting die. That's right. It's only available at paperwishes.com. So we invite you to come and join us and check out all the webisodes. We have about 26 every single month. So just to keep you inspired, I want to thank Debbie for all of her creativity and for her sitting there and thinking up these ideas and executing them so beautifully. I want to thank you especially for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you again. In fact, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.